All right, what's up, Meurig? We're gonna do a bit of a Kefka course, a little VOD review for you. I understand you had a bit of a struggle. You had, I think you said you had to fight him 3 times in order to take him out. So, figured I'd make a VOD review for you. In this case, it'll be on the third attempt, the one that you successfully finished him on. I loved the VOD or the clips that you sent. So, I see it was a very epic finish. That's fantastic. I don't know what your characters have right now. I didn't really research before doing this, so I'm gonna kind of go through it as I see what you're looking at, and we'll comment as we go along on sort of things that could be done a little bit differently or improvise or improved upon, some tips and tricks and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started.
Try this again.
So realm sets are cyan 7, cool. And I'm gonna pause a little bit while we look.
Yeah, ice.
All right, so we got ice 3, cool. All right, so before we even get any further, let's do a little bit of just talking about what we're looking at in this particular phase. So we got 3 parts. We got long arm. It's the one closest to the screen with the open hand. That's the one that you just attacked with ice 2. That one is doomable. It's not only doomable, but you can use any instant death in the game on it. So you're free to use Break. You're free to use X Zone, Doom, Odin, Raiden, X for whatever you happen to have that can instant kill, including rages. You can do that on that one. So that's the one that generally you just want to instant kill it. Maybe not focus your attacks unless you severely have no way to instant death. But typically you'll have at least one sitting around. At the top, you got face. That's pretty self-explanatory. He's weak to fire. So you just use fire. Hit fire a lot. He didn't do a whole lot to worry about. I think he does dread, so that's the one that will make you turn to stone, and I believe that's also the one that does reverse polarity and switches your placement from front row to back row or vice versa. So, and then you got the small arm, the short arm with the balled up fist. All he likes to do is punch you in the face. That's what he's gonna do. So he'll punch you in the face. He will also punch you in the face when you hit it. It likes to counter. So it's something to be mindful of when you're attacking that fish, that it's probably going to counter you when you hit it. With your party being as powerful as it is, I don't think it's threatening to be punched in the face by him, even if you're in the front row. You could take a few without an issue. So that's no big deal. General strategy on this: instant death long arm, and kill face second. The reason why you want to kill long arm and face first is because both of those have death counters. Long arm will counter with shockwaves; those hurt. But the worst one is going to be if face dies last. He's going to cast Quake. You could eat Quake at the life that you have, but in general, as you get better in this randomizer and you get to this fight with like 1800 life, 2200 life, that Quake can kill your whole party. So it's important to get used to killing long arm and face first, and then you just go ahead and finish off short arm. So let's see how you execute this one. So first of all, you did ice 3 on long arm. Again, that's instant death. So probably in this case, what I'd be looking for is a way to kill long arm and to use your fire spells on face. Now, you'd have a choice of, do I want to use ice 3 or perhaps fire 2 if you have it? I'm not sure. On face, fire 2 will do a weakness to fire 2 will do the same amount of damage as a non-weakness to ice 3. So it's better to use fire 2. It's a faster cast rate and it's the same amount of damage.
Is
Yeah, you're hitting
something
like
weak to
truck though,
stop in
so
this?
for the most part, it's not going to matter too much. I don't see any immediate instant death here. I also don't see a whole lot of cure.
Or am I just
some cure 2, I believe.
on crack?
You have unlocked sword tech, so in this case, what you'd want to be doing is the first thing you'd want to do is use Cyan or whoever it was that had sword tech. Let me look at your tracker here. Okay, you did Dome of Dream. That means you have unlocked sword tech. So at the start of this fight, you do sword tech 8 and kill long arm. Instantly dead. So that will 100% kill that arm. And then you can move on to face and kill it, and then move on to short arm and kill it. Sword tech 7 is good, but I would do that probably after you focus fire the head, or at least after you've killed long arm. And actually, while I'm talking about sword techs, let's just go over that real quick of the heavy hitters. Obviously, you have sword tech 1 and 4, but you're never going to use those if you've unlocked at least 6. You can unlock up to 7 with levels. You need to do the Dome of Dream unlock sequence in order to get the whole thing. Now, the heavy hitters are going to be 5, which is going to absorb health and MP from the enemy. You got 6, which is going to do an AoE magic-based damage attack, which is extremely powerful if you have, let's say, a magic power realm with sword tech. You got sword tech 7, which I see that you were using. It is an extremely powerful 4-hit attack that negates defense. The downside to it is that it is untargetable, so it can get a little chaotic when you're trying to focus fire an enemy down. And lastly, you got sword tech 8, instant death. It's a cleave attack on the whole screen. So anything that's instant deathable is going to be instant death if you use it. So, all right, let's continue.
I don't have anything else better than bolts.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of spells. That's actually a little surprising to me. Either your espers were not great, or maybe you neglected your espers a little bit. If throughout the course of the seed, you definitely want to be on the lookout for some very important spells, especially for Kefka. Mute, instant death, cure spells.
What the fuck is that?
You really do want to find, important things that'll carry you through the end, especially on this fight because of how sketchy it can get.
No, this is try 3, and this is gonna be the last try.
All right, so like that sword tech 7, unfortunately it smacked short arm. Oh, I think head might be dead already. Cool, so then you're doing fine. You are risking Cyan's death there because of the punch counters you get when you hit him. Cyan might have died if he got punched there because his life is quite low and I don't know what his armor is, but I think Setzer can take a punch here and short arm will drop to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think overall that fight went quite well. Just remember that instant death is huge in Kefka phase 1 and 2. So you want to make full use of that whenever you're here, just to remove targets from the battlefield and allow you to focus a little better. Alright, so before we get started fighting this one's probably the one that gives people, besides tier 3 maybe, some of the worst trouble out of any of them because there's so much going on here. Let's start from the front. We got basically, Purple Edgar up in the front. His name is Hit, and he likes to hit things. So he's going to punch you, and when he dies, he's going to punch you 10 times. So typically that's the least threatening thing that you have to deal with in this fight in terms of death counters. So he is usually the last one to die. And so he's kind of the least threatening overall. He is sitting on Tiger's face. The tiger down there with the open mouth. He's disgusting and everybody hates him. He's awful and you need to kill him rapidly. How he works is early on, before you've done a lot of damage, he can do a lot of ice-based attacks. So he's going to do some South Cross. His really annoying thing is going to be North Cross, which can freeze your whole party and just let you stand there until you get punched or magicked to death. Now when he's, I believe, at 50% or more damage, he starts getting disgusting, and that's when he starts doing Doom Tusk. Doom Tusk has a habit of happening when you least expect it. You get zombied, and then your teammate kills your entire party. Generally, he is one of the highest priority targets in this entire mess of enemies. In the middle, you have, I don't know what that is. I think it's a woman who, I don't know, but her name is Tools. She's right in the middle. She's got the red on. That's Tools. She does tools-based stuff. She can turn you to stone. She can use AoE laser attacks. She can use missiles on you. Basically anything most robots in this game can do, she can do. The main thing with her is that she is instant deathable. So she's another one that you want to go ahead and use your cleave on, sword tech 8, to take her out. You can kill her with just about any sort of instant death. However, you cannot break her. So you're not able to turn her to stone. Everything else will kill her though. So pretty susceptible. And lastly, on the far left, you got magic. Magic casts magic. Fun thing, all he does is cast magic, and you can mute him. Your highest priority in this fight is always to mute magic. He has tremendous amounts of magic power. He will hit you extremely hard. He can cast Muddle, which is, can kill you instantly if it's the wrong party member. So generally, if you have mute, you use mute. There's an Esper for that. It's Siren. Or you have mute in your magic, which I know you do. I don't know which character it is, but I did see it. So priority number 1, find mute, use mute. Priority number 2, sword tech 8 or any other doom to kill Tools. Now all you have to worry about is Tiger face and hit. Magic can't do anything while he is muted except for his late stage death counters. and tools will be dead. Tiger is weak to Ice 3, or Ice in general. So generally, once you get the first 2 locked down, you go to Tiger Face and you focus fire damage on him to kill him as fast as possible. Ice spells, direct physical attack spells, you take them out. Now you're left with either hit or magic. Generally, it's entirely up to you. The main thing you don't want to do is you don't want to kill them both at the same time. With magic, even if he's muted, when he's killed or brought to very low life, he will go through the mute that you have, and he'll be able to get his death counters off. There's one of 2 things he can cast: Dispel or Quarter. Quarter is a party-wide thing. He doesn't do it on one person, so you can have your entire team quartered down to 200, 300 life, and if you had killed hit at the same time, you're going to get 10 hits right after it and probably be killed. So the main focus when you have the last 2 up is pick one that you want to kill it, and make sure the other one doesn't die. Magic has the most life out of everybody in this party, so generally it's quite easy to kill Magic last, and that's usually what people will do if he is muted. If he is not muted, he will be your focus. If you cannot mute him, I recommend probably killing Tiger first, because he can freeze your whole party and just ruin everything, and then go immediately for Magic. Obviously, you're going to be killing tools with instant death, so I'm kind of ignoring her. But if you don't have mute, I go with Tiger first because I really don't want Northcross to ruin everything. And then I go with Magic. But you are free to leave Tiger alone. Do not let him go below 50% life so he doesn't start Doom Tusking. And you could just focus fire on Magic instead if you want. It is a matter of comfort and preference. I take Tiger first, then I go for Magic, even if he is not muted. But I will not take Touch Hit until Magic is dead after that. And that's about it. 10 hits happens. You can use Phantom strats. You can use it right before you kill him, and then you won't take any damage from 10 hits. So that's an option. You don't have to, and you might want to use Phantom strats for calmness protection, though I don't recommend it when you're newer to the game. Otherwise, if you have somebody that you really want to preserve, you maybe make sure they're not in the front row. If you have an Atma user that you don't want to be killed if he gets focused, pop him in the back row. Maybe use defense on him before you go ahead and kill hit. That way, even if he gets punched several times, he won't die. So let's take a look and see how you handle this.
Realm had it. I forgot. Magic. Or Setzer had mute.
Beautiful. Well done with the mute. That is your very much your priority. Now, are you going to use Sword Tech 8? Do it. I love it. All right. I love to see that. That is perfect. Priority right there. You muted Magic, you killed tools. That is fantastic. I want to make one real quick note here. When it comes to tier 2, I mentioned earlier that Magic has quite a bit more HP than everybody else in this entire pile of whatever they are. So you can do AoE spells all day long. You'll end up killing Tiger and hit right around the same time, and Magic will be low health but not dead. So it's a viable strategy to go all AoE on this fight, kill multiple at once. So if you have Merton with Merton Protection, you have Ultima, you have Grand Train like you're about to use, all of those can work. You'll typically just go ahead and kill the 2 up front first, as long as you're not actually hitting Magic on top of it. If you're doing separate attacks on Magic, that won't work. But all AoE would work fantastic and tends to be quite fast.
That's gonna hurt.
This is why we hate Tiger, but that's not bad. Anybody who's frozen, cast fire on them. If you got fire 1, fire 2, any of that stuff, you can go ahead and use it on your frozen targets, and it'll unfreeze them.
He can't do anything.
Merton works as well. Yeah, Northcross sucks. Northcross can 100% hit everybody in your party, and you just stand there like an idiot with your thumb up your ass, and you don't get to do anything. And it lasts a long time, too. Good utilization of the ice weakness. I hope you know that's the ice weakness. I know that is your most powerful spell, so maybe it's circumstantial. However, if you knew it, then props. Remedy, unfortunately, does not work on frozen targets. You need to fire or just wait. Now, we know that most of your Sword Tech 7 last time went straight to Magic's face, so doing straight AoE tactics is dangerous because you risk killing hit and Magic at the same time. Yeah, he really doesn't like magic.
Dude. What does he have?
Homeboy's frozen. He is frozen. North Cross sucks. Ice Dragon will do it to you as well.
Him?
Welcome to the pain train of North Cross, baby.
He's frozen, right? I have to use fire?
Good to hear chat working with you there. Yeah, okay. Fire is the way to do it. Will thaw him out if you got it, but if you don't, you're kind of shit out of luck.
Just straight up fire. Oh, I have fire too.
Yeah, use that fire too.
That's really bad.
He has 4,400 life. He'd probably survive it.
I have to let him thaw, I think.
Or he won't. You just revive him. Nah, he came back up, so it's fine. But good to keep in mind for later.
Why are you AoEing? Ow. That's not good. That's not good. Don't kill.
Generally, if you kill tools first or hit first, you're probably okay. You just really don't want to kill magic and tools at the same time. This is very recoverable.
No.
Except for maybe that part. Hopefully that doesn't kill him, but I know he's close.
Cyan's gone. Okay.
All right, so this is the time to do a quick talk about overqueuing your characters. It is it's definitely a habit of many people to, you know, when their character's ATB is up, to just get them queued up to do a thing. But if you queue up too many characters at a time, you end up losing control of the situation if things spiral out, kind of like what happened here. You accidentally killed Hit, but since you had already queued up Sword Tech 7, that's going to go through and you just got to suffer the consequences. Generally on this fight, because it requires so much finesse, your best bet is to attack with one character at a time. You know, attack with one character at a time, wait till their action finishes, and then go ahead and queue up your next attack. Slow and methodical. You're actually not losing any time because your character won't act until the other character is done anyway. So by queuing, you remove control from yourself. There's another thing as well that maybe we need to talk about. I'm not sure if you know it already, but it's weight tricking. We can talk about that. I'll bring it up in Discord and see if you already know what weight tricking is. It is a trick that is imperative to get good at this game. We'll definitely look at that, practice it, things like that. So, but yeah, try not to overqueue. Just because a character's up does not mean they have to act. They can just sit there, thumb up ass, and do nothing. It's fine.
Yoga has been okay.
Cyan didn't seem to be doing a whole lot anyway, so if anyone was going to die there, I think that was probably your best bet. You still got your magic caster. You still got your sword tech user. And you still got Sabin, who I think is casting spells, which is odd.
I have no calmness protection. I have nothing.
Not 100% sure if he had a magic esper or anything, but Sabin's typically not a magic caster. But he did have Lorith Grand Train, so it makes sense if you found a magic power esper throughout the seed to let him sit on that and get buff. All right. Tier 3, the bane of most players' existence. This can spiral out of control worse than just about anything else in this entire game. We only have 2 targets. We got lady or girl in the back. It's the floating head, the bust. She will absorb every single elemental spell in the game. So you want to go non-elemental spells like Ultima or even some rages can work. And physical attacks or things like Magitech Missile, shurikens, basically anything that does physical damage and non-magical. She will absorb everything else. So you kill her first. She's only got 10,000 life. Kill her because she will life to sleep the guy in the front if you kill him first. Not great because not only does sleep have a counterattack called calmness, which he will do every time he dies. So if you kill him first, he gets revived. You have to kill him again. That's calmness again. Not good. But he has 40,000 life, and you don't want to have to chew through 80,000 life if you kill him first. So focus on lady always first. So it's always good to know who your physical attackers or your non-elemental attackers are going to be before going into Kefka to make sure that you can deal with her. Sleep is the problem, however. Once he takes about 28,000 damage, he goes into counter phase. and Medio phase, as they'll call it. Before that point, he'll just do like fake calmness, which just puts a condemn timer on you, or sleep, I think. And he will just punch you in the face sometimes. He might cast Whirlwind. He might cast Merton. So he's got some spells and stuff, but they're fairly non-threatening in comparison to what he counters with when he takes more than 28,000 roughly damage. I'm probably gonna round that up. It's probably about 29,000. I think it's like 28,650 or something is when he starts countering. So just assume 29. So this is kind of the math phase. The main goal here, let's say you have Sword Tech 7. So we know that you're doing 3,000 a hit times 4. So 12,000 damage. We know if you can push him just to that cusp at about 29,000 damage, you can Sword Tech 7 and kill him instantly, which would completely circumvent the entire Medio and Train phase that he does. So one big focus here is like, who's your huge damage dealer and how can you push Sleep from non-Medio phase to dead without having to deal with Medio phase? You have that in Sword Tech 7. I heard you go into the fact that you don't have Calmness Protection. I don't know if you do. Life 3 counts, but we'll see if you do as we get through this fight. But yeah, general focus, get him as close to the cusp of countering as possible, and then kill him outright if you can. Otherwise, you need to kill him hopefully in 2 hits so you don't get countered too much. Once you push him into that phase, he's going to counter with something. And if his ATB was almost filled, he's going to use that too. So if you push him into his Medio phase when his ATB is full, you're going to push him into it. He's going to train or Medio you, and then he's going to immediately Medio you again. So you can eat 2 Medios back to back, which can wipe your entire run. So it's another thing that's good to be mindful of is, when was the last time he acted? Do you think his ATB is near full? Do you think you're going to push him into Medio phase with the next attack and there's nothing you can do about it? Maybe wait until he does his attack so you can be like, okay, his ATB bar is now empty. I can push him into counter phase and I don't have to worry about that double Medio. Once he's in that phase, every time you hit him, he can counter, which hurts. Medio is extremely powerful, but it is low accuracy, so there's a good chance you'll block or dodge it, but it can also hit you and kill everybody. One important thing to mention here, which is kind of an advanced thing, but some people use Phantom as calmness strats or calmness protection. If you are phantomed and vanished, Medio will 100% hit you, and it will take you out of vanish. So if you're ever going to use vanish strats to protect yourself from calmness, you have to be 100% certain that you can cast Phantom and get a killing blow before he gets an action. Because the second he gets an action and Medios you, Phantom is gone. And everybody will be hit. So it's extremely risky. So anyway, that's my rant on this phase. Let's see how you handle it.
I'm going in balls of swinging. Where's my elixirs? Actually, we're just going to use next potion.
She will also absorb Pearl. So smacking her with the Illumina is fine here because of how obscenely powerful you are. But if you're only doing like 4,000 or 5,000 damage, you want to make sure that 4,000 or 5,000 damage will kill her.
Sword tech.
Because if you hit her, it doesn't kill her, and then you proc Pearl, you might heal her back to full with it. So this is the phase where you want to be doing math. You want to be paying attention. How much damage have you done to Sleep so far? So I'm gonna actually do that now. Let me rewind a little bit here. I don't think you hit him with anything else.
Oh, I have no life 3. I have no calmness protection. I have nothing.
Yeah, no calmness protection.
I'm literally going in
sucks.
Balls.
It's no fun. You just gotta block it though. Game's easy. Easy baby game. Just block it. Okay, so he took 1,600 from that Merton.
I'm going in balls of swinging. Where's my elixirs? Actually, we're just going to use next potion. Okay.
It's about
Shit.
About 4,000 damage roughly. 5, 6, 7, about 8,000 damage now.
Fucking Merton again.
Is that about 9.5?
What happened to my elixirs?
That's about 20, what would that be, about 22, 23,000? No, about 21, roughly 22,000 damage. So he's in, now, yeah, you pushed him straight to Medio phase.
That's
so
not good.
This is one of those moments where you overqueued once more here. So overqueuing can really get you in trouble here. You want to be very methodical about the damage that you do and how much you're doing and understand the power of your characters. You know, we know that Setzer can do 12,000 damage with one sword tech. So that pretty much just zipped him straight up to it once you hit him with the Ice 3, which is nearly 10,000. That's a pretty buff Mog. Train sucks because you're going to be silenced and blinded now, but thankfully blind does not affect sword tech. So at this point, you need to be thinking, do I have calmness protection? You have already said you don't. So your immediate goal right now is, how do I kill this asshole? You know, because he has countered with train, that he is now above 29,000 damage. That means you only need to do, at most, 11,000 damage to kill him. You already know you're doing 3,500 per swing with the Sword Tech 7. You do that one time, and he dies. If you had Calmness Protection, you'd have to figure out how to set that up first. But in this case, when it's a dire situation and you just got to get going, Sword Tech 7 and it's over. Technically, you might be able to use that Ice 3 and do it, but I think it would be close. You might not kill him, and you might need to be pushed a little harder, but let's see how you handle it here.
That's what I did.
I'm not sure where his AGB was, but he's probably going to act again. But you're queuing up Sword Tech 7. No matter what he does, you are now locked in. So yeah, you're going to eat this Medio, and then you're going to kill him. But I think you'll be fine. Yeah, you have such a high amount of HP, you're fine. And yeah, again, we know that you're doing like 3,500 per swing. So he's going to be GG'd now. And you just got to kind of suffer the consequences. Listen, dude, I said block the calmness. I don't know what you were thinking there, but the tactic is always to block the calmness. I don't know why you didn't hit the block button there, but no, I'm just joking. You just got to suffer. You just got to suffer. So,
and Realm had my feet.
We'll skip ahead a little bit. We don't need to watch this. So, Kefka has a very specific script. You got to do about, man, I got to look it up again for the exact amount, but I want to say it's about 28,000 damage to him. If you don't do 28,000 damage to him, he's going to fall in one you and bring everybody to 1 health. So the general idea in the beginning, all he's going to do is fall in 1 at this point. He is not going to counter you. He is not going to cast any spells until he determines, can I cast Fallen One? So your number one priority in the beginning of this fight is, how can I do the most damage possible? Most people will do a combination of whoever their strongest attacker is. They will unequip or use any shields in their inventory. So ice shields, fire shields, thunder shields, you can crack those with your magic caster, do 10,000 damage straight up. You have a sword tech 7 person who is doing 12,000 damage per turn. So at this point, maybe Sabin cracks a shield, probably going to do right around 9,000 damage. You throw Setzer in there with his sword tech. That'll do another 12. So, you know, you're almost there. You need to find a way to make up the rest of that damage. If you don't think you can do it, just do as much as you can and be ready to use a Mega Elixir once he Fallen Ones, or have Cure 2, Cure 3, some other method of healing after he casts it. Once he goes past that amount, that's when he's going to go ahead and start doing his other stuff. He can cast heavy spells like Fire 3. He can use Havoc Wing. He can use Revenger, which frankly I don't even know what it does. Everybody just ignores it. But he can just kind of be a bit of a jerk. He can just punch people in the face. Basically just normal stuff. After a given amount of time, he's going to go into Goner phase where he's going to charge up. When he's charging, he can't counter or do anything else. He's just going to sit there and eat it. So that's another DPS window. Break all your shields, cast all your biggest attacks, go completely haywire on him. Burn it if you got it. Because ideally you kill him before he casts Goner. It's not a huge deal if you don't, but usually if you've tried to push hard in Goner phase and he didn't die, he's going to be in Ultima phase. In roughly his last 15,000 life, he can counter with one of two things. He'll counter with either Ultima or Revenger, and he can also double Havoc Wing, which can instantly kill many, many characters. So you just want to kill him as soon as possible if you have to eat a Goner. And if you don't, be extremely wary because of the fact that he can counter with Ultima, which hurts. You know, obviously, it doesn't feel great. So, yeah, goal is heavy push in the beginning. If you get Fallen One, to go ahead and heal up, preferably with a Mega Elixir. And then get him into Goner phase, another DPS check. Hopefully you kill him. If you don't, be very mindful of his counters when he is at low life because it can end your run at the end there. So let's see how you handle it here. So in this case, I probably wouldn't have even remedied if you have a shield. I would have just unequipped it and then threw it in his face and dealt with remedy later just to prevent that Fallen One. But it is what it is. Looks like you're probably going to be fine. Didn't check to see if you had a Mega Elixir. Doesn't look like it. I'm glad to see that you're cracking shields. That is good. With proper weight tricking, you could have gotten all 4 characters to attack before he ever got a chance to think about it. So at some point we'll have to talk that over. Yeah, burn it if you got it. But this is one where you just want to be counting. I know that you're not pushing him into Ultima phase right now because of the recovery that you had to do. But yeah, now we're going into Goner phase, and he's gonna blast you here.
I have nothing else.
Oh, you got X potions. You can use that to keep up your primary. Now, I would have maybe used an X potion on Sabin, just to make sure he gets to stand up to Goner here. Palador strats. That's very interesting.
Excuse me?
It will save you from getting hit with Goner. But if he is pushed close to his Ultima phase, he could start countering with that. Well, there you go. Now, when it comes to Ultima, it's going to do twice the damage when it is on a single target. So by doing Palador this far into the fight, you're just going to let everybody eat an Ultima if he chooses to do so. You have a 25% chance of Ultima. Long story short, when you hit him, he has a chance to counter, which is your 50%. And then he's got 2 different things he can counter with to determine if it's going to be Ultima or not. So you lost a 25% roll right there.
Oh, no.
And I think Setzer is going to eat a big old bag of shit. Oh, that's perfectly fine. That's the good thing about having a lot of life.
Oh, please?
Yep, he did counter with Punch and another Ultima. So
oh, no.
Shadow, Setzer, and Gogo are definitely down here. I know there's multiple people absorbing it. However, down they go.
We have Gogo left.
And 2200 is going to do it because I saw the clip already. That is
Oh my
amazing and a ridiculously clutch moment, and I fucking love it. Yeah, so that's another one of those situations where loss of control got you in a bit of trouble there, but it's an awfully clippable moment. I love it. Especially with Gogo. You know, Gogo gets his moment to shine. Hell yeah. But yeah, in that situation, it was a little challenging because you lost your magic carry. So you had a much harder time sort of managing his phases. But that phase is one of the most easily fixed with weight tricking. So at some point we need to talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit before stream tonight. We'll see. Overall, I think you showed a lot of promise in terms of like knowing a lot of the scripting and how it goes. You're brand new to this, so I don't expect you to do like meticulous counting on sleep and things like that, and knowing exactly the order in which to do things. But I think overall the basis of knowledge that you showed here is fantastic, and it'll give me a lot to work with next time you get to it. So if you have any questions about it or anything else about Kefka that you want to learn, or something that I need to, just broaden, or, just, I don't know the word that I'm looking for right now. If you need me to expand upon it, just let me know. I'll send this to you on Discord. But well played, awesome clip, and yeah, I'll be talking to you soon. Later, dude.